April, right? So for those of you who don't remember me, my name is Dominique Smith. I'm the Director of New Student Programs. I had the privilege of welcoming you here as an admitted student and do also have the privilege of hosting this amazing summer pre-orientation series, Knighted and Excited. Today's conversation is really about you all entering into a different world, a new level, a different stage in your life, and gathering insight, making connections, and hitting the ground running, and really laying a Head Start foundation. So shout out to you for waking up with purpose, again, while you're outside, while you're relaxing, while you're chilling, and really reflecting and celebrating your most recent successes as a student graduating high school. And really, we are super excited to have you on board. So without further ado, we've got an amazing lineup, as you can see here on screen, of guests, speakers, and student leaders and representatives from different departments and recent graduates, alumni here to give you the tea, right? To give you like what's really going on. What is it really like to be a college student? So we're not holding back today. You all have submitted questions in advance. We'll be using those questions as well. I've got a couple questions of my own to pick their brains, and the chat is wide open. So if something resonates with you, please drop a reaction, drop some information, introduce yourselves. Let's start a conversation, right? You're in the space with your future classmates. You're in the space with your potential roommates. You're in the space with your potential future business partners. You never know who's in the room with you. So open up, get ready, have a conversation, get ready to make some connections, and know that we are here for you. And as I mentioned, this series is really all about you getting the opportunity to hit the ground running and have everything that you need to be successful as a student as you prepare to count down to orientation. So with that being said, starting with Sean, I'd love for our special guests to introduce themselves, share a little bit about themselves, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty with the questions.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Brandon. I'm currently going into my junior year here at NJCU University. I am a global business major looking to pick up a political science minor. I am currently a student leader on campus. I served this past year as the project manager for the Student Activities Board. So we're the team who planned all the major events on campus. I also currently work as a student ambassador for admissions. So I give tours, work orientations. I also work as a mentor for the Gear Up Pre-College program. That is where we work with 7th through 12th graders in Jersey City. We do the summer program as well as the school year with them, prepare them for state testings, college, things like that. And I also work as a student worker for the Center for Student Persistence and Success, which is the office on campus that oversees all the clubs, organizations, fraternities, sororities, all of that. I know it sounds like a lot, and it is, but yes. And then I'm also born and raised Jersey City, so I graduated from County Prep High School, and I'm also a first generation openly LGBTQ plus student.
Thank you so much, Sean. Shout out to County Prep, Throwback Hurricanes. That's when I was there. What are they now? The Cougars or the
Panthers.
Laser Cat? Which
Panthers.
Panthers? Okay, go Panthers slash Hurricanes. All right. Destiny, you're up next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Destiny. I am actually a recent alumni. I'm alumni from NJCU, recently graduated. Um, I am an international student and I came straight here from the Bahamas to pursue education in the United States. I majored in economics. Um, what else is there? Oh, I do work as a student ambassador on campus here. The same thing as Sean mentioned. We give tours, we work open houses, and yeah. Also, I was a former student athlete here at NJCU. Once played golf here. So yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Destiny. All right, next up, Andrea, if you would.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Izaguirre. I am currently a summer RA and as well as the Student Government Association president. I'm also part of the honors program and the mock trial team. I am pursuing bachelor's degree in political science and philosophy, as well as a minor in women and gender studies. And I'm part of the honors program as well. and I served as the marketing manager for SAB last academic year. Sean.
Amazing. Thank you. All right, and also joining us today here is Manisha from our Health and Wellness Department. Manisha, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Manasia. I'm the Director of Health and Wellness Center here at New Jersey City University. As Dominique says, some of us are also alumni. I'm a two-time alumni from NJCU. I graduated here with my bachelor's as well as my first graduate degree.
Awesome. All right, so like I said, we are definitely delivering on our promises here. We've got an amazing lineup. Everyone is here with the spirit of supporting you and informing you. And so here we go. Let's get into these questions that you all asked. All right, so if you could go back to your freshman year, okay, knowing what you know today, what advice would you give regarding setting yourself up for success, be it socially, emotionally, or academically? And that question is for any of my current students, graduated students, alumni.
Okay, I would say for me, if I could go back and tell my freshman self, get involved on campus as early as possible, as soon as possible. Apply for internships as soon as possible. That is very, very important. And just to overall mostly get involved because that's where you build connections, and that's a good thing to look on your resume. Good look on your resume.
Okay, anyone else want to add to that?
For me, my biggest thing, if I could go back and do it again, would be to make connections with the professors I had. I feel like that's something I definitely lacked in. Those relationships with professors can be very valuable, not just for your classes, but also for your professional growth later on. A lot of our professors at NJCU are leaders and experts in their field, and they work in the field that they teach. So when it comes to, like Destiny said, internships or finding jobs in the job field, having those connections with your professors can be amazing, especially when it comes to letters of recommendations for jobs or yeah, all that. So building that connection with your professors for your professional growth is really important. It's something you should start immediately.
So on that note, if some of our other, students would chime in there, how do you go about doing that, right? Like, it's really easy to say, like, oh, I would have hit the ground running differently. I would have made better connections. I would have created stronger relationships with my professors. I would have gotten more involved. Like, how do you even get to the point where it's day one, you're walking in, i.e. orientation, you're walking in the door, it's September. Where do you even start, right? You just spent 4 years and in this cocoon that is high school, and maybe even had middle school with some of the folks that you were in high school with, right? Now this is a big wide world, a different world, so to speak, and you're entering a 4 year institution with folks coming from all different walks of life. Go for it, Andrea.
Yeah, so I will say sometimes we forget that we are allowed to ask questions, and I feel like that was one of the things that worked the best for me is to actually ask questions as a freshman, no matter if you think the question is dumb, because no question is dumb. Um, that will get you a long way, and asking question it helps you to meet new people, and those people is like a tell a friend to tell a friend. Those people know people, and it will help you that way. That way you get involved on campus, and that way you're not just going to into your freshman year and just not getting involved, but you're able to, actually be able to participate in all the activities around campus by asking questions.
Okay, okay. Any others want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I think definitely taking advantage of the orientation to college class that you take in your first semester. It definitely teaches you a lot. So I think when it comes to getting involved or learning where things are, making sure to pay attention when it comes to your OTC class. And I also think finding us on campus or when you go to orientation and you meet your orientation leaders, when school starts, find them on campus. We're always around. You can find me on campus and ask me a question if you have one. You can find Andrea on campus being involved. We're always around, so like literally 4 or 5 days a week, we're just out and about, always doing something, always at some event, always promoting something. So I think the people that you meet in these kind of events or during your orientation, definitely look for them when the school year starts, or get their contact information, get their social media, and have that as someone who can really help you when you really start in September.
Yeah, I remember when I first went to orientation and I was pretty overwhelmed. I was excited, obviously. I had a lot of questions. And I really looked up to, at the time, it was called peer leaders. Peer leaders were the equivalent of your future soon-to-be orientation leader who you'll meet in a few weeks. And, they were obviously upperclassmen, right? Even if they were sophomores, juniors, they still knew way more than I did. They've been here a year longer, 2 years longer plus. Um, and to hear some of their points of advice, get more information about the clubs and organizations they're participating in, and kind of, be given a tour, so to speak, of what the student experience is like on campus during orientation was extremely helpful. And even more so, uh, to get to know a potential future roommate, I volunteered to, be part of like a Hershey Park field trip, right? And so, in this case, you all are about to be put, like we said earlier, in that raffle for an amazing field trip for Fright Fest, right? Coming this fall. These are the opportunities. Get on the bus. Say yes. Sean mentioned the Center for Student Success and Persistence, and how they are always facilitating and creating opportunities and events. And Andrea is student government president. You're going to hear a lot from her this year. Okay, she's going to be representing your voice and talking more about what that's going to look like. As you walk in this summer. But, ultimately, it's really going to depend on you. And I don't want to be cliche about it, stepping out of your comfort zone, but say yes, right? Say yes to the things that scare you. Say yes to something that I probably would have, no, I don't really want to go. I'm a homebody. No, go on the trip, right? Your tuition, everything that you're pouring in, this is an investment. You've already paid for these opportunities, right? So take your seat on the bus, take your seat in the room, sit at the table and get the resources, the opportunities, ask the questions, get involved and stay connected and just show up, right? Because that's half the battle. It's awkward. I'm awkward. I'm not a huge fan of, meeting somebody from scratch and introducing myself often, but you don't know who is right next to you and who you're about to become, right? And so just breaking that ice and saying, "Hey, I love your kicks," right? "Hey, I listened to that song too. Hey, are you going to this event? Can I come along? Why don't you join me?" That goes so far. And you start friendships and relationships that you never thought you could. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next question. Uh, how did you navigate this new level of independence, responsibilities, and expectations, right? Because, like, this whole time, the alarm goes off, 7 o'clock, we get to school, we've got everything super structured, and now everything is now reconfigured and open, so to speak. Who wants to take that one?
I think I can go first. So on top of what I mentioned earlier, I also work full time at a salon in Jersey City, so I have that as well. I think the biggest thing about navigating it, I think, is setting goals for yourself. I think knowing what you want to achieve, and then once you know what you want to achieve, you can figure out the steps it takes to get there. And I think that can give you a little bit of structure. I also think embracing the little more freedom that you have now when you get to college, the more freedom and using it to your advantage. I think, of course, self-discipline is important, making sure you're still getting yourself up on time. You have that 8 a.m. class every Tuesday. Make sure you get up and get to class now, because now no one's forcing you to get up. You got to get up yourself. But for me, I think the main thing is just one, goals, and then again, having stuff on campus that you love doing. Because if you love something, you're gonna want to go. So I think whether that's getting a degree in something that you do love, so a field of study you're really interested in, or having a club or organization that you're a part of, having a love for something or having that drive is really what's gonna get you up in the morning and want you to come to campus, want you to go to class. So I think, yeah, I think that's really the most important thing when it comes to navigating it.
I would
Thanks,
say
Sean.
I would say for me, adding on to what Sean said, is like time management as well. Self-discipline is very, very important, but time management, because with the independence that you have, you can literally do anything with that. You could spend as much time as you want in bed, or if you spend as much time as you want in the library or at any school events, but you have to have a balance. And then with along with the self-discipline, it's like it gives it's like a foundation for the time management. Yeah.
Go ahead, Andrea.
I just wanted to add that I think one important thing is to recognize ourselves and to give grace to ourselves and what we do on campus, even if it's, something little. We have to um see that from outside and understand that we're putting in the work and that we're getting up and doing certain things that are things to be proud of and to take care of ourselves, because no matter if we're waking up for class at 8 a.m., if we're doing all of these things and focusing in so many things, but at the end of the day we don't feel fulfilled, or we don't feel like we're doing something that is fulfilling us, it's not going to be good for our mental health. And one thing you need to prioritize in college is your mental health, and to give yourself that break that you need and to give yourself that grace, because you're very much going to need it. No, if there's no other support on campus, then you have to be your own support. But in NJCU, we have a lot of great support. So just make sure to always put that as a priority, your mental health, yourself, and to take care of you.
Of course, we definitely want to take advantage of all the resources and services. Counseling center is definitely top of the five on the list. If top 10, top five, it's just there to really support you and should be taken full advantage of. Thank you all so much. So, do you all have any moments where you really found your people on campus and they carried you through a semester or carried you through a season? Can you share what that process was like, what that looked like, what that experience was for you?
I would say it was a group of friends that I had in freshman year, like probably my first few weeks of college. And like in the beginning, I was a very shy, timid person. I didn't really want to go out. I didn't want to do nothing. Like I would just want to stay in my room, stay with my roommate, because we were close friends at the time. And somehow I just ended up in this big friend group, and we would go to New York a lot. We would be out late. We were just doing so many things, and that kind of broke me out of that shell of being shy and being reserved, more of to like, okay, even if I'm not in the friend group, I can go out now. I have that more confidence now to go out by myself and like, make other friends, make other connections, go to school events, even if they're not going to be there, and make other friends there. So I would say during that time, my freshman year, those 2 semesters really, that friend group really helped me, and some of us are still friends to this day. We graduated together. So yeah.
All right. Love to hear it.
I feel like this past semester, it was one of the semesters where I was the most involved on campus. This past semester, this past academic year, and I feel like my group as SAB, they definitely carried me throughout the entire 2 semesters. There's sometimes there might be personal stuff going on, and it's important to know who you have around and who you can count on. And for me, it was this past academic year where I was like, I actually have found my people and I know I can count on them. Outside of just networking in school, I know I can count on them socially, just outside on campus if I have any type of life situation going on. So I think surrounding yourself with people who are going to be adding stuff to your life is really important in college.
Agreed, agreed. And Andrea mentioned SAB, and that stands for Student Activities Board, which is a branch of the SGA, Student Government Association, right? So that is the crew that literally plans anything and everything you possibly can imagine when it comes to being social, informed, connecting on campus. I mean, they've got the skill set that they have in terms of media and just event management is second to none. And I say this because I want to make sure I make a point. when I say break out of your shell and get out of your comfort zone and say yes to something, these are one of the things you want to think about saying yes to, right? It's challenging yourself to take a skill that you A, want to develop, or B, already have and just want to hone, and plugging it into the campus community. Because at NJCU, we talk about this. We've talked about this at Admitted Students Day, enter to learn, exit to serve. You're not just coming to be a student and, okay, yes, you're going to class, and yes, you should be taking 12 to 15 credits a semester. That's 4 to 5 classes, right? Yes, we need 120 credits to graduate so that we can get to the finish line and get that bachelor's degree. But all throughout that process, you are becoming yourself, right? A new version of yourself. And part of that is picking up new skills, new relationships, accessing new conversations, new thought processes or ideas that you didn't have before, and really opening yourself up to grow and develop and figure out, okay, who do I want to be as I continue walking through this life? You know, what is my purpose? What is it that I'm passionate about? How do I want to contribute to A, the campus community, B, the Jersey City community, Hudson County, you know, the state, the country, the world, etc., etc. Okay? So you are really truly becoming the next best version of yourself and need to give yourself, as Andrea mentioned, that grace, that celebration, that acknowledgement that you are trying, that you are thriving, that you are doing, that you are being. And part of that is saying yes, is showing up, is being present, is doing the things you need to do in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. Because let me tell you this, once you graduate, when you're sitting across from someone at a table and they're asking you, why should I invest in your company, your organization, your business? Why should I hire you for my company, my organization, or my business? You need to be able to say, well, this is who I am, this is what I bring to the table. And how do you tell a story about who you are and about a journey that you had if you didn't have a journey and you just stood there, right? You have to be part of the equation. And part of that is what Sean is mentioning, what Destiny is mentioning, what Andrea is mentioning, is your contribution and your place and your finding your niche here as a member of the Gothic Knight family. Sean, it looks like you're about to say something. Go ahead.
Yes. For me, when it comes to finding my people, that all came from getting involved. Me and Andrea this past year were on SAB together. It was me, her, and three other people. And there were definitely some days where we wanted to rip our hair out and quit. But there were also some days where we all didn't agree. But also all of it together brought us closer, and they are people I can count on, like Andrea said. If I look at the people who I'm closest with, my friends, all of them are involved on campus in some way, whether that being in a club or organization, in a fraternity or sorority, having a job on campus. Um, so I think getting involved, getting out there is really how you build those people. They've definitely carried me through a lot. I also think the resources on campus, I know Dominique mentioned the counseling center earlier, absolutely amazing. I can't express enough. The counseling center offers free therapy to NJCU students, no insurance needed, no payment needed. I personally do therapy there once a week and I absolutely adore it. It is amazing. It has helped me a lot. Especially because life can get extremely stressful. If you are a full-time student, which I consider a full-time student to be a job, um, you also, if you are involved, you have other things you have to do on campus. You also have work off campus. You have an off-campus job. You also have to take care of yourself. You also have to possibly take care of family, younger siblings, older family members. So it is a lot. So I think having those people and having those resources to keep your stress level down and to help, like Andre was talking about, your mental, is really important. And yeah, I think just being involved and getting yourself out there is really how you find those people. And being on those teams and working with them and having to do that nitty-gritty work really brings you together. Like it's good at there you have good times and bad times, but it's all worth it in the end.
I have something to add too. Don't be afraid to take those mental days. Like if you feel like it's too much and you were like you still have to go to class, it's okay. Like Andrea said, give yourself that grace. Don't be afraid to take those mental days because before I was afraid. I was like, oh my goodness, my attendance. Oh, I'm gonna miss something in class. But then at the same time, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I just can't handle the world right now. Don't be afraid to take those days off.
And I want to add to that. So, and this is where the importance of creating that connection with your professor right out the gate comes in. Okay. They are present. They're not some far off, God or goddess, so to speak, although maybe they disagree with me, but they're here and they're human, right? And so, one thing I love about NJCU is the understanding that you're going to get in the classroom. And so if you are outright upfront like Destiny and say, look, Professor so and so, I'm on my way to class, or I need to take a day. I've got to get to the doctor. Here's my assignment, or there's some things happening right now. I need a moment. I need some clarity on a project, things like that. You need to be able to start having that conversation. This is the part that you also learn as a student in college. It's the advocacy, because for the longest, and it could be a different experience for everybody from where you're coming from, right? For the longest, your teachers jump in, your guidance counselors jump in, they kind of speak on your behalf from time to time. This is you take the microphone, you take control, you say, listen, I need this, I have a question, I have a concern, I have some thoughts, I want to take an opportunity. You are going to literally get out what you put in. That is the best summarization. You get out what you put in. You create a strong relationship and a foundation with the professor. Good morning, good afternoon. I'm here early. I got a couple questions. I'm asking, for insight during class. I'm following up after class. And there's a moment where you're not feeling well, then you're more comfortable to say, hey, Professor such and such, I need a minute. Or thank you so much. I need this, that, and the other. But you have to open your mouth to communicate, okay? And obviously, you're going to be given at the start of each semester what they call the syllabus. Many of you have experience working with syllabi, in high school, and that's going to tell you what the parameters are. You may have some faculty members or professors that say, listen, you miss a day, stay away, or you miss a day, this is how you're going to be able to catch up. And we'll be having more conversations in further depth as we continue throughout the series about, academic advisement and how to navigate these conversations with professors, and taking advantage of platforms, and systems that are going to help you navigate your coursework and your assignments and find where they put the assignments and the information. So stay tuned, don't worry. This is why we're here, pre-orientation. We're getting you fully, fully, fully equipped, okay? But I wanna shift the question over to, housing, some of the housing opportunities, what the experience is like living on campus, what the requirements are to even have that option, because a lot of you reached out prior to our chat today on United and Excited with expressed interest in, what it's going to be like to live on, and what you need to access that application and that experience. Andrea, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, Andrea, I know that you're also a resident assistant. You're working over in university housing, one of your many different hats on campus. Can you shed some light on, how phenomenal it is to live on campus, what it's about, some of the ups, some of the downs, some of the expectations, some of the options, and some of the requirements there?
Yes, so I have lived on campus since my freshman year. I unfortunately don't live close to campus. I am from upstate New York, so it's a pretty far drive to come to commute, but I have had an amazing experience here at the dorm, and as everyone, there's been moments where I have felt isolated, but there has been moments where I understand, and I have collected all the resources, and took that advantage, and in the moments where I felt like I needed the most the resources, I took advantage of those resources. To live on campus, you have to be a student here at NJCU, and we create many events for the students on during the summer, but during the academic year, we also have events that the RA are planning, so we don't isolate ourselves, and we're able to connect around on campus. One of the things that are the most important when living on campus by yourself is to know how to be independent, because here is like everything you have to do it yourself. So all of those things, you're gonna learn how to be independent and how to like be able to live with other people. My freshman year, I had a suite mate and a roommate. My roommate, we had, ups and downs, but at the same time, it was a great experience because I was able to understand how it was to connect with another person and to share my space with another person. And I think that was one of the greatest friendships I created with my roommate, and I feel like it's something I'm gonna carry with me till I'm done, if after I'm done with college as well. So yeah, it's a really nice experience to live on campus and to have that freedom and that independence that I feel like we all need when we are on college.
Thank you. Andrea, can you shed some light on like the options, like different types of buildings that we have options to?
Yes, so right now on campus we have three dorms. We have Co-op, we have Bodra, and we have West Campus. Right now, only West Campus is open for everyone. And we have options in West Campus where you can have a suite, which is a double bedroom with a roommate, and then you can have a single as well. I have been dorming for the last 2 years on a single room, but I also was in a double, which is pretty nice, pretty spacious, and then you have everything you need. We have laundry, we have a gym, and we have um many other things here on campus.
Awesome. So I want to take this opportunity to have Manesia from our health and wellness office enter into the chat, because when you talk about the option of living on campus or being on campus, there's some requirements that we have to be mindful of so that you have access to the housing application, access to being considered as an option to live on, and so on and so forth. And obviously, we want to make sure that we're a healthy community, mentally, physically, and all the above. So, Manesia, the floor is yours.
Hi, yes. So in order for you to stay on campus, if most of you have not been contacted by us as of yet, or have not even visited the office as of yet, there are immunization requirements that everyone has to abide by in order to even take classes on campus. The MMR series has to be completed, as well as the Hep B series as well. If you are considering staying on campus, you also have to have the meningitis B vaccine. Meningitis, MCV, it's certain types of requirements that you have to have. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us by email or by phone, or you can just come visit us, and we'll give you all the information that you need if you have not already done so. If you have already done so, still reach out to us and just follow up. But if not, we'll definitely be reaching out to you as well.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. So, on that note, I wanna take us into some more questions, right? But I wanna sweeten the pot a little bit, or just make it a little more challenging. I'd like to say let's throw down the gauntlet. So I'm gonna throw out a couple scenarios, okay? Or we're gonna throw out a couple scenarios. Let's see if we can get this going. So, what should pop up here is a question, okay, for everybody. If you're able to participate, it should have popped up for you. It's Gauntlet Challenge 1. Okay. Pick any color. Okay. So essentially, we've got a couple different scenarios based on, okay, all right. Everybody loves blue. Blue is also my favorite color. Okay. Okay. So the first question, let's see where we're going to land. I'll give you a few more seconds. First question is going to be based out of the blue, purple, green, or orange category. Green. All right. Oh, it's changing. It's changing. And we're going to end this poll. Let's see what the results are. It looks like green is going to take it. All right. So here's a question from the green gauntlet category. Oh, okay. Manisha, this might fall in your arena. You're not feeling well. Okay. Everything aches. You got a fever. Everything is running but your brain. Where you gonna go? What you gonna do? What are your options?
Is this my chance to answer?
Go for it. Go for it.
So you are going to come to the Health and Wellness Center, and we will then direct you to where you need to go next. Whether it is telemed services, we have something called Timely Care that the students are allowed to use for free, or you can go to a outside place called City MD. We have a partnership with them, so as long as you have insurance and meet the requirements that you need to be seen, we can outsource you there as well.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate you. I know that probably resonated with all of y'all, because the flu season, anything, sometimes you're just not feeling right. You got to get right before you get to class. That's it. All right. All right, and then for everybody, obviously you're going to get a new, fresh tour and perspective of campus as you arrive at orientation, and then we'll make sure that you know where the Health and Wellness Center is as the semester begins, so that you know where you're going. Okay. All right, let's do another gauntlet challenge. All right, what color are we going with? Tell me what I'm pulling out of the hat. Go for it. Okay, we got some orange, purple, blue. Okay. Okay, so gauntlet challenge. All right. And purple looks like purple one. Okay, I'm pulling purple from the category here. Hmm. Okay. You start feeling depressed. You don't want to worry your family. What's the move?
I will answer this one. We've talked about it before, the counseling center. The counseling center has an amazing director by the name of Danielle Bachant. Absolutely incredible. Office is wide open. They have an open door policy. It is completely confidential. It is a free service. And I think it's something for me when I started therapy, it made me feel good just to know with how busy I am, with how much I work, that I knew I was doing something. I was putting something in my schedule that was solely for me. The only reason that you do therapy is to benefit yourself, to heal yourself, to make yourself feel better. So just having it in your calendar, just carving out time for it is gonna make you feel better because you know that you're taking the time to do something that is solely for you. Um, and I think just relying on that resource, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Thank you, Sean. All right, I got another gauntlet question. Get ready, get those thumbs ready. Let's go. What color are we doing? What color? Okay, okay. Let's get this category. Okay, we got purple, we got blue. Okay, blue's taking it. Blue is taking it. All right, I got a blue one for you. All right. Your roommate has a very different sleeping schedule, very different sleep schedule, different study habits, different life perspective. How do you even navigate?
Okay, I will say that because I've been in a situation like that before. Because I have dormed all 4 of my years being here on campus, so I've experienced a few things. And there was a roommate that I had, and she um would wake up earlier than me because I'm not an early bird. And it's all about setting that boundary and like communication. Always like communication really helps and goes a long way, especially if you're in a room, sharing a room with somebody or sharing a space with somebody. Just communicate, and that helps in the long run.
I agree 1,000%. As somebody that used to be a resident on campus, B, also a residence hall director, I've loved working with resident assistants, and I mean the stories for days. You have folks that'll tell themselves, or tell each other off on social media, and I'm like, guys, we're right here. What's going on? You're literally across from each other. Like, have a whole conversation in the room. Okay. I know you don't want the light on at 3 o'clock in the morning, but say that, let's discuss it. Um, Talking about what the routines are going to be, the cleaning schedule, who does what, who's bringing what, is there a microwave, is there a fridge, do you need two of everything? You don't. Just like when you enter a room, you need different energy to solve a problem or a different perspective to resolve a situation. You're coming from all different walks of life happened to you differently. You know things and you live things differently, right? You eat different foods, you believe different things, right? But people are people. And at the end of the day, as Destiny mentioned, you've got to sit down and have a conversation and identify what your norms are going to be in your space, your norms, your cultural norms, right? Your energy, and how you want to vibe together. And it's just about honesty. It's just transparency. It's respect, ultimately, at its core, at its finest. Anytime you're dealing or working with others, and living with others, right? Because life is happening. And you're bringing a lot to the table. And one of the great things as you begin the semester is you'll be getting to know your resident assistant if you're living on campus, right? You'll be attending programs, socials, meetings. You'll be checking in and getting the appropriate information and guidance. And you will always, always, always be encouraged to create a roommate contract so that that helps to begin that conversation and set the tone for how you're going to move and connect as you continue living together. So don't worry, we're not going to throw you out there. on your own. We're going to guide you through the process, but you will have those opportunities to set that tone and that standard. And I think Andrea said it earlier, you're going to carry those skills in every aspect of your life, which is great. Okay. All right. So I got a couple more poll questions. We can get through those that you've all asked and put in the basket there. Looks like orange wins here. You enter as an undecided student, right? And I know somebody had asked a question about, hey, is it cool if I'm undecided? Okay. How do you find the major that's right for you, right? Number one, there's nothing wrong with walking into college undecided. Okay. Half the time you have an epiphany and you recognize that there's something that you want to do that you didn't know you wanted to do or pursue or learn. Because again, college is the epitome of access, exposure, and just resources all around to support your development. So that means if there's a subject that catches your eye, if there's a course, right, that catches your energy in a topic area, you have the opportunity to have a conversation with the professor, to have a conversation with your academic advisor who you're going to meet soon, and really identify, well, what's the best path for me? And, in terms of passion, in terms of what that actual degree and that knowledge allows me access to doing in terms of making an impact and serving. And really, what kind of career opportunities that I have linked to that, right? And so you'll be able to work with our career center, with faculty, with your academic advisor, and really start reflecting and identifying what fits for you. And there'll be multiple events and opportunities on campus for you to explore and learn about different programs and major fairs. And this is why you have to pay attention to your college email address at njcu.edu, right? That's going to be your main source of communication. And you're going to need to filter out the things that resonate with you and what you want to participate in. But that's definitely something you should take advantage of. Major exploration fairs, conversations with faculty, so that you can really get a feel of what you want to do and how you want to do it, right? So it's okay that you're undecided. The blessing in that is the fact that you all are going to be required to take courses, right? It's particular courses in the category of general electives, right? Or general educational courses, I should say. Okay, that means that part of the 120 credits that you need to graduate requires you to explore and fit in or map out certain courses that fit certain categories, i.e. science, art. It's not just your traditional maths, right? You might have the opportunity to take a computer science class, a criminal justice course, a course on gender and sexuality, right? You don't know what it is that you might be interested in, right? There's a lot of different topic areas. There's social justice classes, right? As an English major, I was able to take a Black writers course, right? Latino writers course, writing from all over the world. There's categories and niche areas for every topic, every subject matter. So if there's something that piques your interest and it satisfies your general education requirements, you have the opportunity to put that in your basket, get that on your schedule, work that through with your academic advisor, and use that to really explore as you check off your major course requirements, right? So once again, 12 to 15 credits is essentially a full-time student, right? That makes you have about 4 to 5 classes on your schedule at all times. And you're able to graduate within about 4 years with that 15 credit per semester schedule. And again, everybody's going to be on their own schedule, their own ebb and flow. Some of you might say you want to finish in 3 years. Good for you. That's great. If you want to knock it out quicker, you have the option of taking classes over the summer. You have the option of taking classes throughout the winter. There's so many different components here to help you meet the goal that you have and the timeline that you've established, right? Those are going to be discussions that you have with your academic advisor and your department chairs and your leadership and your success village, so to speak. And so you're going to learn more about that as we continue throughout these series, as well as at orientation and this fall, okay? I will do one more gauntlet question, and then we will wrap it up and hit the ground running and go to the beach, I hope, right? All right, last question. Here we go. Last gauntlet question, that is. Boom, give me a color. Okay, green takes it. Here's the question. You are running low on funds halfway through the semester. You're trying to think and plan in advance. You want to make sure tuition's covered. You want to make sure you're situated. You want to make sure you've got meals, you've got things that you need, and you're a little worried as you're in the middle of studying for exams and projects. What do we do here?
Um, So when it comes to funding in terms of meal plans, things of that nature, Anna Aponte runs all of our community service on campus, which includes our Gothic Night Food Pantry. That is a place on campus in GSA where you can go once a week, stock up on supplies. There's easy to cook food, there's milks, there's waters, there's snacks, there's also hygiene products, toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorants, all that. So when it comes to that, the food pantry is a really good place to go. They also, if you reach out and you need extra funding, they do have programs where you can get funds added to your Gothic card, where you come if you need like an extra $150 for food in the cafeteria. Anna Aponte, case by case, is able to add funds to your account depending on budgeting. So I think Anna Aponte in the Dean of Students office is a really, really good place to go when you need extra funding in terms of meals and things of that nature.
100%, 100%. We are here again at all times and in all capacities that we possibly are able to support you, right? And that means making sure that you're nourished in terms of education, in terms of wellness, in terms of mental health, in terms of meals. And, as Sean mentioned, you really want to take advantage of the Dean of Students office, right? Dean of Students is not like the principal. Oh my God, I'm in trouble, right? And I'm sure your high school principal didn't want you to just think that you can go talk to them because you felt like were having a bad day or you're in trouble. That's not just the only reason, but your Dean of Students, is really a hub for you to get access to social resources and insight and support. Really, collectively, you should be able to feel comfortable talking to whomever you feel comfortable speaking to on campus, and they can guide you and bring you into any area of resource that is necessary. So I just want to make sure that we establish that that is important. Again, we talked about asking for the things you need, advocating and expressing, what's happening inside here in the midst of doing homework and preparing for your future and all those other things. You have to remember that you're human. You need grace, you need resources, and you need support. Crystal has a question, and Crystal, give me just one moment. I'll give you a chance to ask any additional questions that have not been addressed. But I do want to draw your attention here to the screen. We were talking about all these resources and, what do we do with this and that? I'm going to take this opportunity and point you in the direction of our Gothic guide, right? So this is live just for you all as you walk into your first year on campus. You saw as you were in the waiting room that we have an official app called the NJCU mobile app, okay? This Gothic guide will be also accessible there. It's also accessible via the direct web link as well. And what we've done here is we've created for you, just like we've done with the Night and Excited series in terms of giving you a one-stop shop opportunity to ask questions, but we've placed some of those answers here for you to explore at your leisure so that you can have all the information that you need to be successful and really to be informed. So I'm going to drop this here in the chat, which is the direct link. Okay. I want you to save it to your favorites. You should be using this all year round and even beyond, right? Once you guys become pros about what it's like to be a Gothic Knight, you'll be able to do this with your eyes closed. But again, the goal is to guide and support you throughout the rest of your entire collegiate journey as you're a member of the Gothic Knight family. And we do right by our members, giving you the resources and support that you need. So if you look here, you'll be able to see that we have access to the campus maps, access to your Gothic ID, which all of you should have already begun receiving instructions and correspondence for being able to have your IDs ready in advance for you for pickup before you start the semester. We've got campus video tours. We've got access to our shuttle tracker so that you can, again, be taken to and from maybe the supermarket or the shopping centers or anywhere around campus, from the parking spaces, parking areas, and have a safe escort. You have access to the transportation site there, also access to all components that are going to help you get that A and keep it. Again, GPA is always going to turn into dollar signs. You'll have the opportunity to learn more about financial aid next week and other opportunities for resources and funding and scholarships that you can explore in the future. And then, of course, as Sean had mentioned, the Dean of Students and all the social services, you have access to Dean of Students here. You have access to information about the Health and Wellness Center, that's an Asian area there, Military and Veteran Services, the Women's Center, Pride Center is also affiliated with the Women's Center there, as well as the food pantry, SNAP program, and any other social resources that you need. You have a list of all the on-campus dining options, as well as off-campus options that are in partnership with our Gothic card, so you can swipe, scan, and get what you need there. The fitness center, and all areas that Andrea and also Sean was referencing with regard to our Center for Student Success and Persistence, clubs, organizations, fraternities, sororities. Can't wait to have Bianca. She's going to join us as the coordinator of fraternities and sororities at the end of the summer. We'll be able to have a more in-depth conversation about getting involved and staying connected, as well also at orientation. And then, of course, there's some opportunities for you to get connected around town if you're not from the local area, malls, shopping centers, resources, and things of that nature. And then naturally, financial aid, as I mentioned, will be joining us next week, talking about how to keep yourself in good standing and maintain your student status here by ensuring that you're on target with tuition and anything else that you might need. But I do also want to take this moment to thank our guests for joining us and representing their student experience, their alumni recent graduate experience. Shout out to Destiny. Congratulations on our recent grad. And thank, of course, Andrea, Student Government Association President, who was with us earlier, and our Director of the Health and Wellness Center, Malaysia, as well. So thank you all for joining us. This was our first pre-orientation of the season for United and Excited, and we're closing out our A Different World College Life Hacks discussion with a bang. We appreciate you for joining us. Next week, we have financial aid, same time, same place. They'll be here with recent grads as well, talking about how they navigated financial aid, what's important regarding FAFSA, and how to pay your tuition, your bills, and read all of your documents that are landing in the mailbox in the next couple of weeks. So we hope to see you there. Again, for each of these that you attend in conjunction with your physical presence at the big orientation on July 24th or August 28th, we're really excited to see you. We will be entering your name into the raffle so that you can get those VIP tickets donated by our Center for Student Success and Persistence there for Fright Fest. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Again, feel free to stick around if you've got any additional questions.